Hello guys, welcome to Zolder, race 14 of this Project Cars career coming up. Season 3 well underway here, and we have been running into some hard times lately here. Donington being Donington pretty much all over again. For those of you who haven't been following this series here, I have a ton of problems on that track, and the last race there was no exception, as we didn't even get to finish the race there. Got plowed down from behind by someone coming out of turn 1, losing a wheel. I think it was after 11 laps or so, and that was it for our weekend at Donington. Anyway, qualifying session coming right up here. As always, we're going to be doing one lap and one lap only, and hopefully that's going to be good enough to get us to the front of the grid there. We had a pretty good weekend here last season, though. Didn't get to win the race there, but hopefully we're going to be changing that today. Jumping straight to the business at hand here, just downshifting into third. That was a mistake, shouldn't have gone lower than fourth. And into turn 2 here, running a little wide on the exit, but managing to save the car. Coming out of turn 3, up into 6th, just touching the 7th gear here before we downshift back into 4th. Coming out of turn 4 here, down this very short straight, underneath the bridge there, into the chicane here, down into 3rd, just clipping the apex on entry there. Very nice indeed. And coming uphill here, underneath another walkway bridge here as we come into that second chicane there. Had a load of trouble here last season, cutting the apex just fine there, but not exactly the line that the AI usually takes around here. I'm not sure why they do that line. There's probably a good reason for it, but as of thus far, I'm unable to replicate that, unfortunately. Here, downshifting into second, coming through the hairpin here, out of turn 8, through this little bit of a chicane here, coming down the straight. Very hard on the brakes here, coming into turn 11. This is actually a bit of a chicane as we come back out on the main straight, pouring everything we have into the engine, whatever curves we have left, opening the DRS, and a provisional P3. So we're not going to be making it to the front row of the grid here tomorrow, but if things stay the way they are, currently we have Robert Schmidt in P4 and Phil Guthrie right ahead of us in P2. That's not that bad at all. And as you can see there, Pedro Ferreira taking pole position for tomorrow's race. Like I said, Phil Guthrie in second. And we start on the second row of the grid here for tomorrow's race, right behind Phil Guthrie and right ahead of Robert Schmidt. So not that bad at all. This is pretty much what we had hoped for. So hopefully we're going to be able to translate this position into a result in tomorrow's race there. So here we are, getting ready to get out of the gate. Beautiful sunny conditions here. Probably couldn't ask for a better setting for this race. Right on the exhaust of Pedro Ferreira, Phil Guthrie on our left shoulder. 3 red lights, 1 green, getting out of the gate nicely here. Not too much wheel spin here. Up into second nicely. As we head into the first turn, we have somebody on the inside. I can't really see who, but we cut off the corner there, remaining in P3, and somebody running way wide there. Not really sure what happened, whether or not anybody's out of the race, but we maintain our position there. Luckily, we haven't been pushed off track yet, although there's a lot of stuff going on in the mirrors there. So very nice indeed thus far. Coming out on the short straight here, as you can see, Pedro Ferreira now down into P2 as Phil Guthrie made a much better start. And currently we have Pedro trying to go down the inside of Phil here, heading into the chicane. We have Robert Schmidt right behind us there. Can't get too frisky here. Need to take the inside line here, heading into the chicane, effectively cutting off Robert Schmidt there, and he has to go off track apparently, as we now have Tobias Coltau in P4 right behind us there. So apparently Robert Schmidt had a bit of a mishap. I'm not sure how bad that was. Once again here, coming into turn 8, taking the cautious line here. Not the fastest line, but effectively have to cut off the track there, not to give these guys ideas going down the inside of us. That could end up not only by losing the position there, but in the worst case scenario, these guys just knock you off track and happily go on their way as we head very deep here into turn 11, but coming out on the main straight, lap 1 status, we remain in P3. Lap 4, not much of a change overall here. We are still trying to chase down Pedro Ferreira, who is currently right on the gearbox of Phil Guthrie, still leading the race there. And on a side note, we now have Hassan Aslan into P4, and he's about 3.5 seconds down on us right now. So currently opening up a nice gap to P4 and whoever's behind him, while maintaining contact with P1 and 2. Coming out of turn 4 here, out on the short straight, right on the exhaust of Petro Ferreira. Going to be taking advantage of the curves and the slipstream here. Heading into the chicane. We make that move stick as we are up into P2. Now trying to put Phil Guthrie under some pressure here as he's opening up a nice gap right now. And again, taking the inside line here into the chicane, effectively cutting off Petro there as he's unable to make the move down the inside of his... Yeah, I kind of noticed he was behind me. And again, not getting the best entry here into turn 11. Lap 9 status right now is that Phil Guthrie is about a second and a half up on us. We are currently unable to match his speed, and I think that uneven wear that you see in my tires down there in the right corner might have something to do with that. And considering the fact that this is lap 10 and we are probably going to be making 2 pit stops here today, I'm starting to think we might be coming in for a stop pretty soon. Very next lap, like I was talking about, this is as good a time as any to come in and make a stop. And as you can probably make out there are a lot of cars passing us right now, so I'm not really that keen on looking at the standings there. And again, this TrackIR bug, every time it switches to cockpit cam when you have the TrackIR system hooked up, this is what you get apparently, and I don't think anybody's going to be fixing that. But looking at the standings right now, Danny Gilo is up into P19 right now, so that effectively means that we are dead last even though we're in P20 because we have 2 cars out of the race already. Lap 12 just coming across the line here. As you can see, plenty of cars in to make a pit stop here, and we're going to be making up loads of positions. And currently we are in P3, now trying to chase down our teammate Daniel Walls, and I have to believe that is a provisional third for him because he has not been able to make a stop yet, I would assume. Lap 19, as you can see here, everybody has now been in to make a pit stop as we are currently sitting pretty in P1 here leading the race. We have a 7.5 second gap down to the P2 car who is currently Heinz Dieter Kramer. And I'm not really sure what happened to Phil or Petro there, but the fact remains halfway through this race, we are in P1, Heinz Dieter Kramer in P2. Skipping ahead to lap 26 here, as you can see one more time, loads of cars into the pits. We have a huge gap down in the P2 car, who is currently Daniel Walls. He's about 27 seconds down the road there, and that means we are probably the last car here who needs to make a pit stop. Coming in to make our second stop here. Hopefully we're going to be spared for any malfunctions or loose wheel nuts. And currently Robert Schmidt into P2 here. This is changing back and forth for every pit stop. Very interesting indeed. Anyway, we are going to be rejoining the track into P1 about 10 seconds ahead of the P2 car, Robert Schmidt. Lap 34 still nursing a nice lead here down to Robert Schmidt, about 7.5 seconds here, but he is... Oh! What happened there? Just getting a little bit too much of the curb, and we have some sort of mechanical fault. I'm not really sure what this is. It's kind of annoying that you don't really have the pit crew tell you whatever's going on. They got to be able to see this, considering whatever they have on the pit wall. There are loads of sensors and stuff. And this is just starting to get ridiculous. We're already down into P7, P8. Jadran Dimich passing us. Everybody seems to be passing us right now, and we are seemingly watching yet another podium finish. This was a win halfway in the back already. Just slipped between our fingers here. We're way down into P17, P18. And with 3 laps remaining, I just don't see how we're ever going to be making it back into the points. P19 now, oh, for Pete's sake. Crossing the line for lap 37 here. As you can see, loads of cars in to make a third pit stop. This is entirely unexpected, but apparently the tire wear here today is just so bad everybody's on a 3-stop race. And as you can see there, Christian Wiseman right ahead of us there in P8 currently. He's not been in to make his second stop. He's going very slowly here and coming out of turn 4 here. See if we can't go down the inside there, and that was the wrong way. We should have gone down the outside. See if we can't make the move stick here heading into the chicane, but we need to back out of this one as we're not in a position to make the pass here. And again, right on the gearbox here of Christian Wiseman down the short straight. And I was trying to go down the inside of him here, out-braking him into turn 11. That proved to be completely unnecessary as he goes in to make his third pit stop as we are up into P8, P5. Loads of cars in the pits here. How are we going to be faring on this very last lap here? P4 currently about 6.5 seconds behind Curtis Hardy, it would seem. And I guess this is probably going to be our finishing position. And again, coming out on the main straight here, lap 38. We are currently into P5 there, but as you can see, just as we cross the line, that turns into P4 due to the lap down buck, and that was Tom Cornwell, who was momentarily in fourth, and he is nowhere to be found in the top 10, so that's got to be it. Anyway, Pedro Ferrer taking the win here today, so apparently he kind of made it back into contention there after being off the chart there for a couple of laps. At least I didn't see him. Torben Simon finishing in second, Curtis Hardy rounding off the podium in third. And I guess all things considered, again, we need to be happy about the P4 result here, even though we had the chance to take a win. But yeah, nothing we can do about that. Anyway, there you have it, the championship standings. I am still leading that category there, 167 points. Pedro Ferreira now into P2, 102 points. And Greg Barbier, not scoring any points here today, remains in third with 100 even. As always, guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, be sure to leave a like or subscribe to this channel for more Project Cars action, and I'll be back soon enough. Bye-bye.